Hello and welcome to Taurean Tarot. In today's video, I am doing another visual journal entry for my Healing with Tarot series. And for this entry, I am creating a visual representation of a tarot exercise I did in one of my last videos for the connection section of the root chakra out of the Tarot Healer. So for this exercise, it was really about using tarot to learn how I can strengthen my connections to certain aspects of my life. So there was like connection to my body, connection to my home, connection to my community, and how to restore my sense of belonging. It was a really interesting exercise that I took a lot out of. But when it comes to doing this visual journal entry, there was a certain part of it that really stuck with me that I wanted to put on a paper and make part of my visual journal. You'll see me talk about it if you watch that video. And it was a part that I just kept going back to that I felt was really important. And when I was pulling the one card, the one keyword that kept coming up was the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And that was going towards the way we tend to think negatively about our current situation. We could have everything we need in the world and it could still not be enough, because then we could see somebody else and the way that they're living and be like, oh, I have all this great stuff, but wouldn't that be great? And I think what we've learned a lot over the last few years with social media is not everything is as it seems. So while you may think that that's great, or you may be jealous of the way somebody's living, you don't know what's going on in their life, or what it costs to get them to where they are. So I really wanted to explore those ideas in this drawing. I decided to go back to using my alcohol markers. I decided to use the figure from the Seven of Pentacles because it plays into the theme a little bit of the grass isn't always greener. Your grass may not be the greenest right now, but with patience and persistence, it can be. So I wanted to bring him into this drawing, and I have him standing in front of a gray house with a gray yard, no crops going, and for him, life looks pretty bleak. And he's sitting there contemplating his life. Well, he's forced to look at the yard next to his with this bright, luscious green grass that you'll see coming up here shortly. A white picket fence, because that has become a very common metaphor in life in America. It's something we're supposed to strive for. And part of this drawing, he has a decision to make. Does he pick up that tool that's in his hand and continue to sow in the garden that he's been given? Or does he cross that line to the greener grass and see what's waiting for him? So those were some of the themes I was exploring when I came up with the design behind this drawing. And I also think it relates back to the purpose of the tarot exercise as far as connection goes, because one of the questions was, how could I better be connected with my home? And I've struggled with that for a while now. I never really felt like it was my own. I didn't know how to make it my own. I was overwhelmed by all of the things that need to be done here. And when I looked at the house, all I could see were the problems. And I forgot to just take in how grateful I should be to be here. So I started looking at it differently. And now every time I come home from work, I thank the universe that I have a home to come home to. I am very fortunate for the house that I have. And once my attitude started changing, I was able to be in a better mindset of working around the house and completing the projects that I've been wanting to complete. just the other day I put the finishing touches on my garden, and I was finally just able to sit in my backyard and relax and take in the beauty that is surrounding me. So while some people's grasses may be greener, I was finally able to make my own plot of grass a little bit greener just by putting in the hard work. So you'll also see that I brought out those pastels to put in the background. I have gray sky over the gray house and a little bit of blue to tie in the sunnier side of the picture. So that is my visual journal entry for my connection section of the root chakra. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are and what you can do to make your grass a little bit greener instead of looking to somebody else's yard. You may have seen that I already released the next video in my Healing with Tarot series, and that would be on the present. So if you haven't seen that already, go over and check that out. I'll make sure I link it in the cards. Next video will be the visual journal entry for that section. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you're hopefully notified when that video goes up. And until then, take care and be well.